Magdalene Clements says her husband Louis always knew his way around a car. Hearing her talk about it, it'd be better said that a car was lucky to know him, because even as a boy, he could always find a way to keep it running.
Evidently, everybody act like that he could do anything with a car, but they always had people lined up wanting them to work on their cars. Dad was busy collecting the money and bringing in the next guy that wanted work, and the two boys were doing the work.
Growing up in the South, Clements naturally found his way into racing and eventually into NASCAR. Immediately, he became one of the best crew chiefs around.
Rex White's crew racks up miracles and puts their Chevy back,
helping driver Rex White claim the 1960 Grand National Championship. The trophy, still a family treasure to this day.
The cars were nothing like they are today. They were true stock cars, off the showroom floor. And General Motors would give Dad one car a year, and it had to last.
Magdalene also played a major role in shaping the NASCAR you see on TV today, including designing the first ever pit crew uniform.
Our driver Rex was complaining, I can never find my pit. So Mother says, well, I'll fix that. And she went to JCPenney's and she found maroon pants, gold shirts, and what the guys lovingly called monkey hats. And that was the first time anybody had ever worn a uniform.
Their daughter Cindy, like all the Clements children, was involved with the racing. She may not have worked on the cars on race day, but she certainly had an important role guarding them after the races.
Dad would take me at the end of the race and sit me up on the top of the car, and it was my job to make sure nobody took decals off that car. And you'd get these big old burly Southern guys that had been sitting out there drinking their beer all day, and they'd come up there and start to pick off these decals. And all I had to do was look at them and I'd just say, guys, my daddy says y'all shouldn't be doing that. And these guys would just look at me and go, yes, ma'am, and turn around and walk off. And Dad's car didn't get picked on.
She also remembers stories of her family's ties to the now famous Earnhardt racing family. Her brothers helped Dale Sr. get his first set of wheels and start in the sport. And her dad, well, he taught the Intimidator how to intimidate.
Dale got a little rambunctious and he hit Dad's car, and Dad wasn't happy with it. So Dad walked over and at the end of the race and reached in the car and pulled Dale out, explained to him he wasn't to ever do that again to him or his driver. And Dale never did that again to him or his driver.
There's so many little ways that the Clements family helped change NASCAR. Now they enjoy the photos and old stories at their home in Oregon. But sometimes they are transported back to that special time in the South when the engines were roaring and the tires were screeching, and it was race day. In Central Point, Joe Camerlingi, NBC5 News.
Nelson Stacy blows a tire and rams the rail. That blowout on a broken tie rod put him out of the race here in the second lap.